Hey guys, how's it going? It's me, Blashwath, and welcome to the first in a series of many broadcasts that I will be doing, not only on YouTube, but also on the Lakeside Radio, if and when that becomes a thing, and if and when I get a segment on it. In these broadcasts, I will be summing up the week for you in current events, in general, science, politics, history, all of that great stuff. Let's get right on with it. I'm going to start off with science. Also, don't forget to stick around till the end of the broadcast, where I'm going to be telling you some updates about a new animation series, possibly, that I'll be working on, and some other stuff going on with my YouTube channel. Anyways, let's get right on into science, starting off with the neuroscience. New research shows that neurons in our skin perform the same sort of computational calculations that we previously thought were only carried out in our brains. Pretty interesting stuff there. Rather, if you want me to explain it, I'll give you a basic summary. We initially thought that our fingers were just like sensors, where they take something, they sense it, and then our brain comprehends the raw data that's being sent. So if you're touching an orange, your finger might send some data, and then your brain's gonna be like, hey finger, we're touching an orange, and your fingers will be like, awesome. Rather than that, it looks like what's going on is our fingers are touching an orange, doing some calculations, and being like, hey brain, just to let you know, I'm touching an orange right now, and the brain's like, cool, that's awesome, I love oranges. Or if you don't like oranges, maybe something else. Basically, that's a really vague, sort of general summary of it. Check out the article if you're watching on YouTube. I will hopefully have links to all of these articles. If you're listening in through Lakeside, sorry about that. You can always go and check out my YouTube channel, though, just saying, self-advertising right there, to find the links, or you can just search them on Google, and I'm sure you'll find them by searching the general, topic of the article. Moving on into space, Japan unveils their new asteroid hunting probe that plans to use a powerful cannon and metal bullets to break through the asteroid's crust and return samples by 2020. This is pretty cool stuff. Rather than focusing on the moon, which we've already gained some samples from, which weren't actually that interesting, or Mars, where we're currently obtaining data samples, we're moving on to asteroids right now, and that's something that's still fairly unknown to us. So moving on into gathering information about these asteroids will be really cool, and rather than just focusing on getting people onto Mars, we're focusing on stuff we don't already know about, like, we don't know very much about, and that's something that's and that's something that's fairly accessible. So I think this is a pretty cool article. Let's move on into dinosaurs. I know everyone loves dinosaurs. A new 65-ton and 85-foot long dinosaur species called Dreadnoughtus scrawny is discovered. It is believed to have been the largest animal to ever walk the Earth. I'm kind of skeptical about this one, guys. I don't know about you, because scientists, archaeologists, that is, are always discovering newer and newer animals, or, well, I guess in a sense, older and older animals, that they keep on believing to have been the largest animal ever to walk the Earth. Like, we've had this claim like 4 or 5 times already, and it just keeps on going every time we discover a new dinosaur, and each dinosaur has a more and more ridiculous name. So, personally, I think they're gonna find another one within the next 20 years, 10 to 20 years, sorry, who knows, I'm probably wrong here. I just think it's kind of silly. Also, I have no idea what they're gonna name the next one. Let's move on into energy, though. Propane has been made through a renewable process for the first time, as scientists effectively modify E. coli bacteria to produce gas that can power cars and heat homes. Pretty awesome right here. We're another step closer into renewable energy. Of course, this is not a very effective process at the moment. This is not something that can immediately be released into the public and immediately start powering our homes. I mean, heating our homes and powering our cars, or heating your car and powering your home, depending on your lifestyle. But it's a pretty cool step forward into what will hopefully eventually be a renewable and eco-friendly energy source. Let's go on into medicine now. A breakthrough new drug called LCZ696 significantly reduces the negative effects of heart failure and is claimed to be the biggest potential advancement against the disease, in over 10 years. Once again, pretty awesome stuff is going on in science this week, and in the past week and a half, 2 weeks. Awesome stuff is going on in science, like, every single day. So, you guys should, if you guys keep up with the articles, though, you're gonna put me out of my quote-unquote job. I'm not getting paid for this, but, check it out. It's super cool what's going on right now in the modern world. Let's move on finally into energy again. Scientists demo a new sugar bio-battery that converts energy and sugar substrates into electricity. The bio-battery can store 15 times more energy and run for 10 times longer than a similar lithium-ion battery. Once again, really cool development in energy. We're getting more efficient. We're getting more eco-friendly. This is a demo, of course. You're not going to see this out on the market within the next, 2 to 3 years. Maybe within the next 5 to 10 years. Who knows? It's just super awesome that we're getting closer and closer to being not only more eco-friendly, but also more energy efficient, etc. So, that's our week in science. In history, what we have going on currently is, well, not really history per se, but current events concerning politics. I'm thinking of courses in school, like social studies, humanities, history, they're the same sort of thing. But current events concerning politics right now, let's talk about Syria, and then let's talk about Ukraine. I'm sure all of you are aware of ISIS at the moment, the Islamic State in Iraq and Syria, which President Obama refers to as ISIL. But they appear to have beheaded yet another journalist slash aid worker in Syria, a British journalist by the name of David Haynes. They've released the footage online. It's kind of heavy stuff, but hopefully we can prevent the further beheadings of European American journalists in Syria. It's quite unfortunate. He's the third of three people to have been beheaded on footage, following James Foley and yet another journalist. Quite unfortunate. But there's not much we can do at the current moment, apart from what we're currently trying to do, which is cutting off the money that is funding the Islamic State. This money is coming in mainly from oil revenue that they're getting. So it's all oil money in the end. But the Obama administration, leading me to my next article, is struggling to cut off these millions of dollars in oil revenue that the Islamic State is getting, making it one of the wealthiest terror groups in history. So far, we've been unable to persuade Turkey, a NATO ally, where much of the oil is being exported to via the black market, to sort of crack down on this, cut off these sales. Of course, it's not Turkey's open public market that where this oil is being sold. It's the black market, but it's still somewhat worrisome that Turkey is not taking actions to cut down on the black market. Hopefully, once we somehow stem off the funding ISIS is getting, they'll stop getting weapons, supplies, etc., and we'll be able to attack and in turn get rid of them. Finally, moving on to Ukraine here, Vladimir Putin has released a statement saying he intends to conquer, quote, all of Ukraine, unconquer. I feel like a lot of people already saw this coming. We knew what President Vladimir Putin planned to do, but seeing him so adamant in what he plans to do is somewhat worrisome. Hopefully we can manage to get through this in a peaceful manner, without starting any kind of war or anything, but in case a war is started, I'm splitting out of Seattle. It's not too great to stay in a major city close to Russia, so, if war happens, that's just my advice. That's what I'm planning to do. Feel free to stay in Seattle. I'll probably just be off in the middle of nowhere, overreacting. But if they invade over Alaska, like riding polar bears shirtless, which is totally what President Vladimir Putin's invasion plan is, then I'm not going to be anywhere near the West Coast. So that's our week in current events concerning politics and science. Stick around, and I will talk for a bit about school and a bit of advice on what you can do with your schedule. Okay, so we've talked about science and politics, but we haven't really talked about school yet, and that's something that's really big in all of our lives, I know, at school. It's very stressful. I'm in junior year right now, so far it's not too bad, but it's probably gonna get fairly harder. I'm just gonna give you a bit of advice here, for managing your time effectively. A lot of people I know have social media accounts like Facebook, Twitter. I personally don't have either of those. I only have an email, really. But there are just so many distractions online right now. You can go on YouTube, you can go on some sort of meme website, you can go on Reddit, and all of these things just stop us from getting homework done. And it's always good to relax and take a break from your work, because if you keep on working all the time, you don't get any satisfaction. It's not very fun. So what I would recommend doing, and what I'm trying to do, is rather than working all the time, I'm trying to split up my work into 90-minute segments. In these 90-minute segments, I'm working really hard. I'm getting my homework done in as many subjects as I can, as properly and as efficiently as possible, and then I take a 10 or 20-minute break. Well, this is what I plan to eventually get to, is taking 10 to 20-minute breaks in between where I just relax and think of something else before getting back to another 90-minute segment of just work. If you blend your work and your free time together, you're gonna get more inefficient, and that's what causes a lot of people to be staying up till like 1 in the morning. I know it's not really fair for me to say this, because I'm sure a lot of people are also doing extracurricular activities, which are keeping them away from home, unable to do work till like maybe 8 o'clock at night or something like that. But you should really try and not be on any social media when you're actually just hardcore working. Just get your stuff done, and then you can spend free time if you like staying up late. Personally, I can't stay up late. I go to bed like at 10:30 every night. Not a night owl here or anything like that. So yeah. And I think that sums up the week for for science, politics, school. That's basically everything. I'm going to leave you with the word of our week and the song of our week. And if you stick around, you can listen to the song of the week, which will be broadcasted after the segment ends. First of all, here's an update. I'm starting a new animation series. It'll be cut out sort of paper drawn animation, and it's hopefully what I envision it to be will be a social commentary on basically the social repercussions of everything and teenagers' daily lives. It probably won't come out as poignant as I imagined or as meaningful. It'll probably just be a kind of silly animation series, but I would totally appreciate it if you check it out. First episode will either be going up sometime this week or next weekend, depending on when I get to editing, which is a fairly long process. But yeah, I would definitely appreciate it if you checked that out. Also, I'll be posting these podcasts every Sunday on my YouTube channel until we get the Lakeside radio station up and running, when I will also start broadcasting on the Lakeside radio station during the week. It'll be the same segment though, so you can either watch on the YouTube channel or you can listen, that is, through Lakeside. And finally, let's get to our word/phrase of the week and our song of the week. The word of the week is inception. I'm sure all of you are familiar familiar with the word Inception, insert Inception noise here. Thank you, future me, for inserting that Inception noise in. Basically, an inception is a beginning. It's not what you may think. It's not stuff inside of other stuff, inside the same stuff. It's not like a Russian nesting doll. It's actually a beginning. I chose this word because it's the beginning of a lot of stuff right now. It's the beginning of the school year. It's the beginning of extracurricular activities. It's the beginning of my new radio/podcast show thingy. It's the inception of a new animation series for me. It's the inception of, like, everything right now. Not actually everything, but lots of stuff. And our song of the week is going to be Let Me In by The Unseen Guest. I'll be playing that shortly once I wrap up the broadcast. Let Me In is the name of the song. The band is The Unseen Guest. Let Me In is a somewhat spooky-ish sounding song that blends in a lot of traditional Indian instruments with Western style, and brings in this sort of spooky-ish sounding, but pretty awesome overall song. I'm a huge fan of this song for some reason. I don't know why, but you can stick around and listen to it and see if you also are a fan of this song. In the meantime, before we get to that, I'm just gonna say thanks for listening, not watching. Thanks for listening. I appreciate you staying around, listening to me talk about stuff, random stuff. That's super awesome. Thanks for doing that. I'll see you guys in the next podcast/broadcast episode, either on Sunday, both on Sunday and sometime also throughout the week. I'll talk about science, about politics, about popular culture, and about some other new stuff next week, so be sure to stop by and check it out. Thanks for listening. Bye!
Days run together, they crowd at your front gate, but you can't let them in, so you tell them to wait, and one by one, they file up the driveway, and your bell is still ringing, as down goes the day, so you take off your shoes, and you turn up the volume, and they all go to sleep, while you're safe in your room. And in your bed at night, a stranger sleeps beside, and she opens your wardrobe and she fumbles inside. Let me in, or I'll blow your house down. Let me in, 'cause there's snow on the ground. I won't wait here forever, and then you will see. You should never say never, 'cause I sow what you reap. Well, they huddle on your doorstep as the clouds start to break, and they scratch at your windows, and they bang on your gate, and they walk on your doormat in wet muddy shoes, and now and then your lights go out 'cause they've stolen the fuse, and sometimes in the night you answer the phone, and they breathe down the line just to see if you're home. They sing in your garden like dogs when they fight, and the noise that they make drills holes in the night. Let me in, or I'll blow your house down. Let me in, 'cause there's snow on the ground. I won't wait here forever, and then you will see. You should never say never, 'cause I sow what you reap. Let me in, or I'll blow your house down. Let me in, 'cause there's snow on the ground. I won't wait here forever, and then you will see. You should never say never, 'cause I sow what you reap.